Hey, so I'm gonna try something different with this game. I'm gonna provide some commentary, I'll be reading aloud. But also, I wanted to play this game because I wanted something relatively light and cute. I say relatively, it's very light and cute. After the very emotional trip that Omori was. I didn't want to jump into something incredibly emotionally tense like that right after Omori. So we're going to be taking a little bit of a break. This very cute game. I've already played it before. I've already done every single route. I very much enjoy this game. It is a very good game. So we are going to be he, him. And I like this one. I like this one, but I also want to go this one. So we'll do that for this playthrough, and I might do one route, I might do... Jeez, I might do every character if I'm really feeling like it, but today, let's just jump into it. I think I fell asleep on the couch again. Little lasers of sunlight are zapping right into my face from the middle of the curtains. I think they've been specifically aimed to burn out my eyes. I had this weird dream about a goth band. What is it, like noon? Jeez, not my fault. This couch pulls you in like you're drowning in bread dough. My spine pops in loud protest as I swim free from my bread dough cushion trap. I'm gonna have to apologize to Aunt Wendy. I'm probably leaving a dent in the shape of my ass in the cushions. I'll probably have to apologize for a couple things, really. Okay, I know this looks bad, but it's almost not even my fault. I can't help that clutter is naturally drawn into my gravitational pull. Honestly, it makes me feel a little more comfortable, you know, like I really live here, instead of just like I'm a couch surfing at my aunt's. Or like I'm living in a furniture catalog. Not that I'm ungrateful. Aunt Wendy is awesome to let me use her apartment while she's away. She's helped talk Mom and Dad into letting me come all the way out to the city too. She's pretty cool. I hear rustling behind me, like fingernails on cardboard. Makes me pause for a second, but I jump as I realize what it is. Hey, Mochi, knock it off! Okay, so a few things. Sorry. It's like the nostalgia because I've played this like a few years ago and I've played it a handful of times and it really is just one of my favorite games. Just as low-key and cute as it looks, right? It's a good game. Mochi, the living trash bag disguised as a cat, stares up indignantly from inside the pizza box. He's trying to scrape some dried cheese off the bottom again. His little mushed up face is probably trying to stare me down, but it's kind of hard to tell where he's looking with those crossed eyes. Mochi! What a cute cat! I clap my hands a few times to break the stalemate. He jumps at the sound, then waddles back into the bedroom in defeat. I guess since I'm up too, I might as well get to whatever I'm gonna do today. I shuffle to the curtains and throw them open. My laptop is still sitting open on the coffee table. Oh, yeah. Job searching, I guess. That's what I was gonna do. I plop back down on the couch, ready to sink into the curtains and take a look. Jeez, there's so many tabs here. Which one did I leave Craigslist open again? Not that one. This one? Or this one? Maybe this one? No, it's just another cat video. I feel this. I really feel this. Sometimes I have way too many tabs open and I just can't find anything. I was up all night watching Jelly Donut, the cat who balances donuts on her head. I have no idea how you get a cat to do something like that. Guess that's why Mochi and I aren't internet famous. I find the tab and start scrolling through listings again. It's not like anything new has gone up since yesterday, I bet. Sidewalk cleaner, intern, college credit only. Internet comments section proofreader. Friend raiser, street team intern, unpaid. That really do be job searching though, huh? Yeah, it's been like this all month. Can you really blame me for giving up and watching cat videos? I know this kind of thing is supposed to take time, but try telling that to mom, dad, or my savings. Any of those can send me back home at any time. And I really have to get this done before Aunt Wendy gets back. Just thinking about writing another cover letter is making my will to exist erode away. I'm gonna go for a walk. When I got here, I expected to be buried in noise from the city's traffic and crowds, but it's actually pretty quiet. The apartment is on a side street, far from the main street bustle. From here, the noises of the city are just a distant hum. It's comforting, like the buzz of an old tube TV. I'd have to walk like 20 minutes to get to the train from here, but I rarely leave the neighborhood, so it doesn't really matter. Still, living in a small town life in the city, I guess. Whatever, I get plenty of adventure in this neighborhood. I can just set out in any direction and find something new, even if I've been down that way before. Sure, I get lost a lot too, but that's half the fun, right? I turn a corner at the end of the block and head up a tiny side street I haven't tried yet. Neatly arranged trash cans line the side of the road. I think I'm behind some stores right now. I'm expecting a dead end, but the road suddenly curves to the right. It looks too narrow for cars, but the faded white lines marking the middle seem to claim some brave drivers could try their luck. I decided to follow the sharp bend in the road. After I pass a tall partition, I'm surprised by what I see. A squat, 3-story building, painted so ostentatiously bright, it'd be impossible to miss, sits in front of me. A cat's paw? That's just a wonderful name for a coffee shop. This is the coffee shop dating AU that everyone wants. And it's so good. Is this a pet store or something? Maybe I can get a dumb toy for dumb Mochi. As I walk closer to the front doors of the building, I don't see the aisles of pet food I expected from the broad store windows. Instead, it looks like there are couches and tables in neatly arranged rows. Oh, so this is one of those pretentious restaurants with a pithy nonsense name, huh? I can feel my interest deflate and sink into my stomach. Just as I'm about to turn and continue walking, I notice the sign in the window that declares, "Now hiring, inquire within." Just as I'm about to turn and continue walking, I notice the sign in the window. Sorry. I'm looking at two things at once and but I might as well give it a shot, right? I look to my right as I walk up to the door and see a little orange and white cat lying belly up, sunning itself against the window. It doesn't seem terribly sanitary to have a cat in a restaurant, but whatever, I like cats. Bells tinkle delicately as I tug on the handle. The heavy door creaks open. This place is so classy it feels fake. It looks like a game board exploded in here. Isn't that what the palace was like in Wonderland? Like, with the cards and stuff? Is a purple cat gonna start talking to me? Though none of them are purple, boy, there are a lot of cats. I think I could count at least 8 right off the bat. They're all over the place, romping around the floor, sleeping on some of the built-in structures in the wall. I barely had time to take it all in when I hear a voice call out to me. "Welcome, please sit wherever you like." I shuffle in place for a moment, at first unsure of where this voice came from, then whether I want to sit or if I want to keep this strictly business. Actually, I start as the source of the voice looms into view. He appears suddenly from the second-story landing and covers the length of the floor in a few long strides. You look confused. Is this your first time here? Would you like me to explain a bit about how the cafe works? I'd be happy to give you a tour. His eyes are gentle. He's one of those people who smiles with his entire body. It's positively infectious. Alright, so this is one of the first major questions to get to our route. So the route I always like to start with is, you'll see in a bit. Actually, hear about the job. Oh, his pause is brief, but it worries me a little. Is it really surprising that someone would come in and ask about a job? Did I do it wrong? Oh great, we don't get a lot of responses. I think it's because Mr. Graves only puts the sign up in the window. He doesn't want to advertise anywhere. Good thing I came in then, huh? You're right. His smile is broad, but his eyes creep to the back of the cafe like he's looking for an escape. Okay, you can take a seat and I'll go get the odor. He'll be able to tell you a little more about what he's looking for. You got it. Oh, and what's your name? Avery. Avery, cool. I'm Landry. Nice to meet you. Alright, I'll be right back. He bounds up the stairs and disappears. I begin to sit in a little cafe table, but freeze halfway as I hear a faint exclamation of dismay. It's followed by thundering footsteps, then by Landry's return. Avery, I'm so sorry. What? I didn't offer you any coffee. Would you like some? Oh, don't scare me like that. Sure. You got it. He vanishes into the back again and reappears carefully balancing a stout white mug atop a black saucer in one hand and a tiny creamer in the other. Gently, he sets the mug and creamer before me. I forgot to ask how you take your coffee, so I brought you some milk. There's sugar on the table if you'd like it. Oh, thank you. Okay, I'll check with Graves this time, I mean it. Landry bounds to the back room and is again out of sight. Siamese cat timidly peers at him as he goes, then directly at me with a wide-eyed, worried look. I give it an awkward smile and nod before realizing I'm treating a cat like a stranger in an elevator. I dump most of the milk and 3 sugar packets into my coffee before I can get it to the consistency I like. I pour what should be a little splash of extra milk, but half the cream is worth spills in. It almost overflows. This cat's looking at me like it's offended by what I just did. What? Like a cat knows anything about coffee. When Landry finally returns, he's not alone. This is Graves, the owner of the cafe. Graves, this is Avery. He looks like he should own a bookstore that insists it sells tomes, not books. Or maybe he sells crystals that balance your chakras. Or maybe this is what the owners of cat cafes look like. I've never seen... His eyes. They're 2 different colors. I can't focus on both of them at the same time. Which one am I supposed to look at? My attention is sucked into his icy blue eye. Is he wearing a contact to complete his dark Renaissance look? Should I do voices? I don't know if I can do good voices. I think it was his eye. Yes, it was this. Eh? He had the eye of a vulture, a pale blue eye with film over it. Whenever it fell upon me, my blood ran cold, and so, by degrees, very gradually, I made up my mind to take the life of the old man, and thus rid myself of the eye forever. Excuse me? Telltale Heart, you were looking at my eye. Kids, didn't you read that in high school? Well, yeah. Iridis heterochromia. It's more common in cats than humans. What a weirdo. I'm not sure I want to work for a guy like this. I don't think this one particularly matters. I'll do, is this going to be on the test? Avery, please, that face. Is this going to be on the test? I shouldn't sass my potential boss, but I can't help it. It just kinda slipped out. It was an interview question, but you can consider that one a free pass. And cats with extra toes are called polydactyls. That wasn't an interview question, but I appreciate your proof of cat knowledge. Why'd I blurt that out? Now I look stupid. Do you have any more tucked up your sleeve? Or maybe he's into it. He looks really amused right now, at least. Calico and tortoiseshell cats are all female. Not necessarily, but close enough, I suppose. And cats also have whiskers on the back of their front legs. I wouldn't have guessed you a cat person. Not a bad start. Graves, would you mind telling Avery a bit about the place? I think it'd be good if you talk about what we do here. Graves looks like the notion is causing him physical pain. I'm not too keen on this idea either, Chief. You didn't do that already? Don't you think it sounds better coming from the owner? You're going to be doing the interview anyways. Good point, Andrew. This cafe would collapse into rubble without you to keep me on track. Alright, Avery, I didn't prepare a speech, so you'll have to forgive me. I'm a little surprised to hear that, but I guess there aren't any Poe stories that he can quote for this situation. I like to take care of stray cats. I like coffee. I like good desserts. I like a beautiful room. I wanted a place where I could have all of those at once. And that's how a cat's paw was born. What a cool fucking place, though. The cats here are from the neighborhood. Usually they want to come here, so I don't have to convince them to come in. Wherever home. Pity. Hate that term. But the cats who want to be adopted are listed on the wall over there. I'm a good matchmaker for people and cats. I can tell who's good fits for the cat's personality. If they meet my standards, they've got a new family member. It's good you help them find homes like that. Well, if I had the room, I'd just keep them all. He totally means that, doesn't he? Cool. I get to be interviewed by a cat hoarder. I don't know. It's probably better that way, right? Who knows? Follow me. We'll talk on the second floor. Before he finishes the sentence, he's already 3 steps up the stairs to the balcony. So much for the introduction to the cafe, I guess. I shake my head a little and follow him. After all, I really need a job. We make our way up to the second floor balcony, which, except for us, is only occupied by those amazing looking cakes in the display case. I wonder if I can get a slice on my way out. Graves leans over the balcony of the cafe, raises his voice to one of the people below, or to the cats, I guess, since cats are the only thing I can see from here. Hey, will you get us some coffee? Is that the chef? I haven't seen anybody here besides him and Landry. Oh, I already had a cup. Is that going to stop you from another? You can't have enough coffee, especially when Hayes is the one making it. I don't think I met Hayes. You may have, you might not know yet. Graves folds himself into the slender chair at a corner table. He pushed the opposite chair away with his foot, nudging it just enough to turn it towards me. Come on, sit down, and let's talk. You don't have to be so stiff. Interviews are boring. Make it interesting for both of us. No pressure, huh? Graves sits with this sort of grim pomp, like he's sitting in a skull throne and a raven is going to land on his shoulder at any time. Maybe it's more like he's about to roll a die with a lot of sides. I bet he's a nerd. I take the seat across from him. Just so you're aware, we aren't starting with hot coffee. Okay. You can talk, of course. I meant the interview. Okay. Out of the corner of my eye, I notice a tiny slip of a blonde man standing at the balcony entrance. I jump a little. When did he get here? I didn't hear anybody come up the stairs at all. This guy a ghost? Graves looks like the type to hire ghosts. He looks terrified by my shout. I think I scared him more than he scared me. Gingerly, he sets 2 mugs in front of Graves. Thank you, Hayes, but you should give Avery the other mug. He sounds like he's reminding a child to say thank you. Of course. Hayes glances up at me. Our eyes met for a millisecond before he suddenly finds something very important to focus on downstairs. He pushes the cup towards me without looking back up. Thank you. Graves' ring clacks against the porcelain of the cup as he takes a drink. Perfect, as always. I don't know what I did without your coffee. It's nothing special, really. He talks like it's his first time he's spoken today, quiet and a little hoarse. That's all. I'll go back to the cats. That's fine. He slips back down the stairs just as quietly as he has arrived. That kid would make a great ninja. I look down at the coffee and see a sleepy cat face staring up at me from the phone. I've only ever seen latte art on the internet before. Did Hayes really do this? Take a sip. It's not bad if you like coffee, I guess. It could really use some sugar. There are packets on the table, but I can't bring myself to ruin the phone cat. Now we can get this going. Let's interview. I'll even start you off easy. What's your favorite breed of cat? God, it feels like he's making those cats with the stumpy little tails. Cats that look like they're wearing tuxedos. My cat is my favorite. Do you know any other languages? How about ciphers? No, I speak language. Hold on. Hold on. I can read that. I can read that. Ah, jeez. Is it yeah? Jeez. But I think this says no, I don't. Is that Masen? Yeah, so that's Masen. I think this is like, no, I don't speak. I think. That's what it looks like. I'll say no. What marine animal would you say best represents you? Ooh. Butterfly? Okay. Oh man. Like penguins. Are penguins technically marine animals? Who knows? What genre of music would you use to describe your work ethic? These are weird questions. Ooh, I like all three of these. Which one did I go with? I think I usually go with classically hardworking. But punk's also good. Or chiptunes. Classical. On a scale of 1 to 10, rate me as an interviewer. 10. Dracula's Teenage Draculas. Just kidding with that last one. Interesting. Good. I like interesting people. He leans forward, appraising me with his terrible smirk on his face. He's like the cat who ate the canary. Maybe I don't want to be interesting by his standards, but it feels kind of flattering nonetheless. Thank you. You start tomorrow. Wow, great, thank you. Don't run off yet. I have paperwork for you. Oh yeah, of course. Graves pushes away from the table, coffee cup in hand. He nabs my saucer even though I'm not quite finished and slinks down the stairs. He returns as if he'd never left, trading the empty coffee cups for a small stack of papers and a pen. He places them in front of me. So, what will my job be? We'll see. Did he hire me with no position in mind? Is this how this guy usually works? I feel like I'm in a daze. Too much information and too much coffee. I take the papers and skim them, signing pretty much everywhere I see an X and a line. What's all this for? And why is there so much? Probably taxes and stuff, I don't know. And who cares? I've got a job. Avery, please, you have to read that. Okay. If you're watching this, who knows how far in the future, and you are getting a job and they're having you sign things, read them. Please read them. It's very important. I push the papers back towards Graves, and he eagerly scoops them off the table. Perfect. We open at 11. Be here at 8. We'll have you help with the morning prep. My displeasure must be pretty apparent, because his mouth cracks into another smirk. You can work a later shift in the after training. You won't have to deal with those cursed mornings for too long. Okay, that's fine. Go. I have a lot of work to do before tomorrow. You need to get work on fixing that sleep schedule of yours. Okay. He seems lost in his own world now, poring over the paperwork I just filled out. I guess there's all sorts of tax stuff you have to deal with hiring people. Why would he do it so casually? Well, whatever. Not my problem. They didn't even take any ID, right? Like no social, no driver's license. I head down the stairs. Landry's back. He looks uncomfortable, waiting at the foot of the balcony, but perks up when he sees me. So, see you tomorrow, co-worker. Oh, congratulations. You can meet everybody else tomorrow morning. I'll make sure they're all ready for a meeting when you get in. How many people work here? Oh, there's me. Graves, of course. You met Hayes. Finley, Mason, Reese. That's it. Shouldn't take too long to get to know them. Okay, great. I'll see you all tomorrow then. Great. See you. Woohoo. Gonna live it up a little. Gonna paint this town red. I finally have a job. And here, we get to the start of the game. And the music is so good too. Hold on, I gotta look up character routes since I don't remember them off the top of my head. This intro sequence is always super cute. Great start. I got lost, and I didn't end up painting anything, but it was a nice walk. As I head home, I get the distinct feeling of being followed. I didn't really know that it was a thing that actually happens, but it's not hard to notice when you see some movement out of the corner of your eye. I turn around. A sleek black cat stands in the middle of the road. It sits down when we make eye contact and thumps its tail testily against the pavement. It's got different colored eyes. I guess heterochromia really is pretty common in cats, huh? Should I, try to bring it to the cafe? They take care of strays there after all. I should try. I crouch down as slowly as I can and reach my hand towards the cat, beckoning to it. It doesn't move. I make those little smoochy noises that seem to work on some cats. I do that to my cat. She's right beside me eating. And she's gonna go for some pat. It works. It just works. This one doesn't seem terribly impressed. It pins its ears back and it looks away, still for a moment before standing up, slinking into an alley. I guess I should just leave this to the professionals. It's time to celebrate. I'm gonna wreck this pizza I grabbed from Pizza Lloyd's on the way home. I picked up a can of wet cat food for Mochi from the corner store too. I figure we both deserve a celebration. Mochi, get your fat lump out here. I have good news. No answer or indication he's even in the same room. You know, he never even asks how my day was. I know how to do this. I walk over to his food bowl and crack the lid of the wet food. In a flash, he's at my feet, tail shaking like a rotor behind him. Come here, you big moron. Give him a little scratch behind the ears before I dump half the can into his bowl and the feeding frenzy begins. He acts like I never feed him. Whatever, I'm about to go do the same to this pizza. After a quick jaunt to free myself from the shackles of non-pajama clothing, I flop back down on the couch, dinner in hand, laptop in my face. Oh, it looks like there's a new Jelly Donut video. The video of her sleeping in a donut box. I love that dumb internet cat. She's always doing something ridiculous. I wonder how her owner gets her to do those tricks. That flooring seems familiar. Where are these filmed? I spend the rest of the evening picking through the video archives. I can feel myself sinking into the bread dough couch cushions. It's so early. What's his problem? I bet he just wants the other half of the wet food. This is why I don't get it for him that often. I excavate myself from the couch and do what I can to mitigate the bedhead situation I have going on. What time is it anyway? I grab my phone to check. 7:40? Aw, hell! I'm gonna be late for my first day of work. I take the world's fastest shower, but there's no time to dry my hair. I'll have to hope I run fast enough that the wind resistance will do the job for me. No time to sort through my duffel. I'm just gonna have to throw on whatever looks cleanest. It's not like Graves said anything about her dress code, so whatever. Mochi trails me closely, howling more and more insistently along the way. It's like he doesn't care about my punctuality at all. No time to mix the wet food the way he likes it. I dump a scoop of kibble into the bowl on my way out the door. I haven't seen a cat so offended since the one that watched me mess up coffee. They can both deal with it. I can't believe I'm almost late to my first day of work. My first job, even. What a great first impression to leave. Thanks for hiring me, Avery the Flake. I start out in the full sprint towards the cafe, but it's only about a 10-minute walk, so it looks like it might not be as bad as I thought. If I run, I can make it in less time. Here it is, a cat's paw. I got a good look at it when I was here yesterday, but it feels totally different when it's your workplace, you know? Kind of nice to think about. Hey, Avery! Landry peeks his head out from the doorframe and waves me in. I'm surprised by how many people are standing around. Graves, Landry, and Hayes are there. But there are a few others I've never seen. I only see a few cats right now, but they seem utterly disinterested in everything we're doing. They're all piled in a sleep cluster by the window. I feel a little embarrassed that I'm so disheveled. I'd rather be on time with wet hair than late and looking perfect. Good, you decided to challenge the morning sun after all. Now that the star is here, we can start this show. Still as weird as yesterday, I see. Caught another sucker, boss? That's esteemed co-worker to you, Reese. I think I'm gonna drop the voices. There's too many people. I'll just read. You just keep collecting these strays. Before we get too far, everybody should introduce themselves to Avery. Avery, we've already met. You know Graves. Did you meet Hayes yesterday? Briefly, hello. Hello. He looks like he's going to try to slip between the cracks in the tile. How does a guy like this handle a job that deals with people? Hayes is a great barista. He's a great help in the kitchen, but he likes to spend a lot of his time with the cats too. Hayes flashes me a quick look. The side of his mouth upturns ever so slightly, like he's trying to smile, but he's out of practice. I reach out to shake his hand. He's practically bracing for impact. Before I reach him, a bright light flashes at the corner of my vision. Is that a camera? Oh, sorry, sweetie. I thought I turned the flash off. I whip my head to the other side of the lineup. The girl on the end is aiming her phone directly at me. Sorry, don't mind me. I just want to commemorate our new employee. I'm Finley, and I take care of social media. I like Candid, so I'll try again later when you've forgotten about it. Finley is also... Graves! I know what you're going to say. Don't ruin the surprise! Graves lets out a spark of a laugh. Alright. You tell Avery whenever you're ready. Thank you! The two in the middle of the lineup look beyond unimpressed. One is the smart mouth guy, Reese, and the other looks like someone I wouldn't want to mess with. Finley puts her hand on the shoulder of the tough-looking woman standing next to her. Since she's not going to introduce herself, this is Mason. She's our head chef. Or our only chef, I guess. Well, nice to meet you both. Yeah. Finley reaches up and places her hand against the back of Mason's head. She pushes her hand forward, forcing Mason to nod. I'm amazed Mason is putting up with this. Wow, that's the most you've spoken all day. She likes you already, Avery. Mason makes a quick little noise that could either be a laugh or a grunt. Maybe it was both. How kind of you to save the best for last. I'm Reese, and I'm the one you'll be answering to after Graves, so you better stay on my good side. I would have sworn Landry was the second in command here, so I don't know what this kid's talking about. I didn't even see him at all during the interview yesterday. I'm on cat detail today, but don't think that means I won't be keeping an eye on you. Cat detail must mean taking care of the cats, obviously. I'm learning quickly. I don't know why the second in command would be so eager about telling me he's gonna clean litter boxes today. Maybe it's a weird status thing here. Ew. I'll be on my best behavior then, I guess. Good. Okay, that should be everybody then. Avery, you'll be training with me today. I hope that's okay. It's fine with me. Looks like I'm no longer needed. I have other work to do. You know where to find me. Graves slinks to the back of the cafe. I think I can hear footsteps on creaky stairs. Mason and Hayes disappear after him. Avery, did you have breakfast? We're going to have something to eat before work, if you'd like to join us. It's tradition. That sounds great. I fed my cat, but I forgot to feed myself. Reese has already seated himself at the long booth seating along the wall. He scoots two of the tables together, and Landry pulls over another chair. Great, just sit and relax. Mason's just finishing up breakfast. I move to take a seat, but Finley blocks my path. Avery, before you sit down, I have a question for you. Sure, what's up? Okay, is that? Her voice drops almost conspiratorially. She leans in to whisper. That's an IKEA shirt, isn't it? He's my favorite too. Oh, what? IKEA? From Blast Zone? From what? Look, you don't have to play dumb. I get it. No, I really have no idea what that is. Is that like a show? Is this shirt from something? Oh. No, never mind. Don't worry about it. Okay. This is exactly how it feels. Talking to someone about an interest that you thought they had, but they don't. Now you've got my interest. What is Blast Zone? I don't know if it would be your type of game after all. Oh, it's a game. I like games. Try me. Well, it's a story about men's passions clashing in a life or death struggle. Sounds dangerous. Oh, it is. But it's also romantic. Romantic? Like love blooming on the battlefield? That type of thing? Yeah, I think you do get it. Maybe I'll lend it to you sometime, if you prove yourself worthy. I'm not really sure what that involves, but sure. She gives me a grin and a wink, and takes a seat at the table next to Reese. Blast Zone sounds like an Otome game. I say Otome. Like a yaoi dating visual novel type of, like, combat, like, was it Samurai Warriors, but all the dudes are gay. And it's visual, not visual novel, it's dating sim. Which might be the kind of game for some people, actually. Dating sims aren't bad. He gives me a wink. Gives me a grin and a wink, then takes a seat at the table next to Reese. I notice that somebody set the table while I was talking to Finley. Mason and Hayes should be out in a minute, Avery. Come sit down. Sure. Where should I sit, though? What if there are some unspoken rules about this sort of thing? And placing? You never know with new groups. Landry answers the conundrum for me by beckoning to the seat between him and Finley. Quietly, I take the seat. Mason emerges from the back with a large tray balanced atop each hand. One tray has a giant stack of French toast. The other is some kind of egg thing. I'm not sure, but it looks amazing. Whoa. I had no idea how hungry I was until just now. She sets the tray down in front of us, and then returns to the kitchen. I hope she gets back soon, because I'm about to be on that egg thing like mochi on wet food. Mason returns a few moments later, cradling 6 empty cups of coffee in her arms. Hayes follows in tow, carefully balancing a carafe full of coffee. They set the cups and carafe on the table and take their seats. Hayes' butt barely hits the chair before the others start to dig in. I'm a little afraid that I'll lose my hand in the fray if I try to jump in now, but I'm so hungry. Landry reaches out an arm from behind a fortress of French toast slices. He lightly bats at Reese's hand as it reaches for the syrup pitcher. Save some for Avery. Please calm down, you're the one stealing all the food. I haven't taken any more than usual, breakfast is important. While everybody shouts and chatters across the table, I help myself to a bit of everything. I'm not used to eating a real breakfast, especially one that didn't come out of a microwave, so I'm gonna savor this. Wow, this is amazing. Mason, what is this egg thing? Mason's eyebrow shoots up. She looks at me like I grew another nose. Frittata. Is that like a souffle? It looks like it'd be really hard to make. Just eggs and vegetables in a pan. Yeah. I know I wouldn't be able to make anything like that. It's really nice to have a real breakfast. What do you usually eat, Avery? Mostly cold pizza. Some toaster tarts, I guess, if I remember to get them. Mason glares like I just knocked her plate on the floor. She stares directly at me, through me, with a hard look in her eyes. You eat here now. Always. Could I still have pizza sometimes? Not for breakfast. I love Mason. Very good. That's the kind of, that's how I want to be if I cook for people. Just... I like feeding people. Good. I vibe a little bit with everyone. All good. Ever. I can hear Finley and Reese snickering. Okay, but other times it's still okay, right? Mason rolls her eyes and goes back to her coffee. Reese stares up at me between bits of French toast. Avery, when we're done, we need to talk about dress code. Oh, Reese, don't start this again. It's an important part of new employee orientation. Landry passes a positively pained look at Reese. He glances at me, but a poke to the ribs from Finley sends him staring back at his plate. Landry, you're such a mama bird sometimes. Lighten up. Avery, look at this place. We all take our visual presentation very seriously. Mason gives another grunt. Hayes places his empty plate and cup on Mason's plate and takes a stack into the back with the urgency of a tactical retreat. Graves and I expect a certain level of decor with the wait staff. Is this about my outfit? I woke up a little late, so no, this is about uniforms. Mason pushes her chair away from the table with enough force that it wobbles briefly on two legs. She stands and takes my plate in one fell swoop. Opening soon. Time to get ready. She picks up the now empty cast iron skillet with one hand and balances a few of the other plates on top. It looks heavy, but she's holding it all like it's nothing. Come on. She stares me down and gestures to the back door with a head nod before she heads into the kitchen. Don't think you can run off so easily, Avery. You'll get written up if you don't have your uniform. It doesn't seem like there is a uniform, though. But we're gonna go help Mason and Hayes in the kitchen. Is Mason really the only chef here? That must take a lot of work. I bet she could use some help. Mostly, I'm just grateful she gave me an out. Whatever Reese is planning, it doesn't sound like anyone but Finley cares for it. No thank you. I think Mason and Hayes wanted my help, though. Fine, if Mason needs the help. But you're not off the hook for this yet. Reese. Oh, come on, Landry. Don't look at me like that. Something is definitely up. Whatever it is, I'm not going to fall for it. Well, I'll be back once Mason says I'm done. I quickly retreat back to the kitchen before Reese can delay me further. Even though I work here now, I still feel like I'm trespassing on hallowed ground. Never been in a restaurant kitchen before. Heck, I'm barely in my own kitchen. It smells amazing, almost enough to make me hungry all over again. Hayes is at the sink, carefully scrubbing the iron skillet we used at breakfast. Sorry, wasn't that cast iron? Why are you scrubbing a cast iron skillet in a sink? I'm sorry. That's something you just never do. It looks like he's already got the dishes on lockdown, to be honest. Mason only spares me a glance. She's already back to work, and it looks like there's a lot left to do. She dips a long spatula into a big metal bowl and heaps a glob of frosting on top of the cake. It's mesmerizing watching her move as she works to smooth the frosting. Can I help? Any experience? What, baking? Don't know why I asked. She doesn't bother looking up, but it feels like she doesn't have to see the cake to decorate it. I bet she could do this in her sleep. Don't touch anything. I guess I'll go then. Okay, I'll go see if there's anything else I can do to help out. Seems like Hayes and Mason aren't really the talking type. If it weren't for the sound of the sink, it'd be dead silent back there. I guess I'm intruding. Oh well. I guess I should find where Landry ran off to. He's training me today after all. I think he went upstairs. I head over to the foot of the staircase, but a cat has taken station right in my path, sleeping belly up, stretched out to nearly the whole width of the step. Buddy, that's really cute. That's a dangerous place to sleep. It doesn't dignify me with a response. Instead, the fat orange cat shimmies in place to settle itself even more. Gently, I nudge it to see if I can get the cat to move. Someone's gonna trip on you if you don't move. That's not gonna be fun for either of you. It opens one eye into a thin slit, then makes a murmuring noise and flicks its tail. This little tiger isn't going anywhere, is it? Are all the cats here this spoiled? Guess I'll have to pick it up and move it myself. I lean over to scoop it up, as I do, a tiny orange and white bob-tailed cat whizzes past my feet, stops on the step below the sleeping cat, then raises one paw and bats the other cat squarely on the forehead. The sleeping cat wakes up and hops to its feet. It looks angry. Am I going to have to break up a cat fight? Hey, you two. The bobtail flattens its ears and stares intently at the orange cat. They both perk up when they hear a voice from above. Is Hash Brown sleeping on the stairs again? The orange cat, Hash Brown's I guess, trots away. Landry works his way down the stairs, eyes on the bobtail kitten. Is it really necessary to smack him? You should be nice. Bobtail turns its head away in a wide arc, almost as if giving an okay whatever in response. It lazily struts over to the windowsill and takes up sentry. That cat's name is Hash Browns. Graves names all the cats here. He comes up with some interesting ones. What are some of their names? Well, at the moment, there's Ramona, Shunsuke, Kitak, Owl, Bramblepelt, Nowl, Hisa, Valentine, Marina, Aiden, Junta, Jam Band, and so on. Holy crap! Which one was that bobtail? Oh, his face falls. Why does he look so nervous? Why don't you ask Reese later? Huh? Is that his cat? Did he name it or something? Is it a bad name? No, Graves should have told you about. Let's get to work. It's about time to open. Landry isn't having any of this. He walks past me to the front door without a glance. He unlocks it and flips the sign from closed to open. And ta-da! The first day at a cat's paw has begun. And nobody's here. It's a little anticlimactic. Yeah. The mornings are usually pretty slow. It might pick up later. It didn't. At all. All day. Sure, a few people came in, and Landry had me wait their tables while he supervised. It went pretty well, and I made a couple bucks in tips. That was it. Finley came down a couple times to check in, and I saw Mason and Hayes every time I went to the kitchen, but I didn't see Reese at all. Reese's bobtail cat, on the other hand, was all over the place. I think I see why he'd take a shine to this one. They're both complete hams! Not that I mind that it was slow. It just meant I got to play with the cats more. There are like 10 of them here? Maybe? I can't get a solid count on them. They seem to vanish sometimes. Looks like there are a lot of areas around here for them to hide. Thank you for your help today, Avery. Landry, Finley, and I just finished wiping down the tables. Mason was gone before the cafe closed. I don't know where Hayes went. So, how'd you like it? Is it always this quiet? I mean, not that I'm complaining. Not always. Tomorrow should be busier for sure. I've got plans. Oh, we should get here early then, huh? Don't say that like you aren't always early. Oh, to come in earlier? Don't worry too much about it, Avery. Just show up at your regular time. Okay, thanks. Can't imagine what busy means here. Like, what, 6 people in here at the same time? I've got a little more work I want to do on the blog, so you all go ahead. I'll close up if Graves doesn't get here to do it. Oh, thank you. Avery, you can head out. Thanks. Are you leaving now? I could walk with you. I'll be out in a bit. You go on ahead. Oh, alright. See you all tomorrow. Night. The door closes behind me with a jingle. I have a job. My coworkers are pretty cute. I get to play with cats. If this works out, I should be able to afford a place of my own soon. Wait until my parents hear about this. I'm feeling pretty good about right now. Can't help giving a little celebratory fist bump. Alright. I think I just heard someone snort a laugh behind me. I thought I said that pretty quietly. Turn around to see who it is, but there's nobody there but a cat. 2 cats, actually. Cats from the cafe. Reese's cat, and the Siamese cat, to be precise. Crap, how did they get outside? Did I let them out when I left? This is real bad. I'm pretty sure one of the first rules of working at a cat cafe is do not lose the cats. They're not looking at me anymore. That's my chance. I'm creeping towards both cats. If I move too suddenly, I might spook them. I only make it a few steps before I see the bobtail's ears swivel back to face me. Without turning the rest of his head, he takes a springing leap and heads down one fork of the road. The Siamese cat continues down the same path, as casual as anything. Can't get them both, but I need at least one of them. Better decide who to go after. Let's follow. Let's follow Reese's cat. I know he's not supposed to be out here. What little jerk cat? Take off after the bratty bobtail. Reese's cat suddenly stops, turns around, and plants his haunches on the pavement. He looks at me with a surprisingly bored expression. Oh, come off of it, Avery. You can stop tailing me now, unless you were that bent on following me home. The cat is talking. Why? Why do you look so surprised? You knew it was me, right? What? What? Come on, my cat self and human self look so similar. They're both equally gorgeous. How did you not put 2 and 2 together? Of course I didn't put 2 and 2 together. Who the hell is gonna think, oh, of course, he is also a cat? It's the most absurd thing I've ever heard. Can't believe I'm even having this conversation right now. I don't know why I expected you to know anything about witches. I mean, look at you. What's that supposed to mean? It means I don't think you know much at all. Fine. Grave obviously did a trash job at explaining this, so all the work is up to me. Again, everyone at a cat's paw is under a curse. Once we leave the premises, we turn into cats. The curse is likely tied to the cafe itself, though I don't think anybody else knows how. This is probably the most absurd thing I've ever heard. But it's also sort of hard to deny because a cat is telling it to me. So, everybody? Graves too? Who knows? I've never seen him as a cat, but I haven't seen him do a lot of things. Does that mean, am I gonna be cursed too? I wouldn't be surprised. Well, I would. How do I end up not cursed? If I knew that, I'd be taller and a lot less furry right now. How do you even get a cat curse? Didn't you hear me? Which is, believe it or not, this area is full of them. I'd go with the or not, but I can't really come up with any more plausible reasons. This is absurd. Just had a long day and my brain's leaking out of my ears, that's all. I might just be imagining this. Are you done then? I have things to do. Like chase birds. Cute. Look. If it makes you feel any better, we can talk about this more at work tomorrow. With everyone else. Yeah, sure. Whatever. Introduce me to all of the talking cats. Just don't be late again. Hey, I wasn't late today. I get the feeling that if he had the shoulders for it, Reese would be shugging right now. Instead, he rolls his head to the side. Reese stands back up. He takes a grand leap up a trash can, then again onto the fence. Whatever you say. Good night, Avery. That, he's gone. Good night. An interesting twist. The sun's barely gone down, but I'm capital letter done with today. This is too much. Don't forget the good food this time. The canned stuff. Did someone just say something? There's nobody here but Mochi. Oh, for crap's sake. I find him standing next to the food bowl, looking up at me with those expectant eyes. I gently nudge him with my foot. Did you just say that? Nope. Nope. I'm done. I dump the rest of the canned food into the bowl and scurry out of the kitchen. Then I dump myself in bed. I don't even want to think about right now. I'm just gonna sleep in a real bed for once. Excuse me. Maybe sleeping on that couch so much is messing with my head. I don't usually close the door, but I think it's a good idea tonight. I don't want Mochi whispering to me in my sleep. I wake up early enough to surprise myself. This is gross. Who does this? At least I slept fairly well, all considered. My cheeks kinda hurt, like I'm getting one of those real powerful zits. Just when I have a job where I see people all day. What perfect timing. Kick my legs free of the big blankets and roll off the side table with my usual grace. God, this thing feels gross. I don't have any Acme stuff with me here. Maybe Aunt Wendy has something I can put on? I trundle over to the vanity to assess the damage. That's not a zit. That is a whisker. There is a whisker growing out of my face. And I think we will end this right here. And I'll pick it up next time. Thank you for watching.